Something that's been really catching my eye recently is this app called Uber, and I've just been kind of interested in it. I've seen it everywhere, and I've heard a bunch of stories about it. It's just pretty much a ride-sharing app where if you're a driver, you pretty much just sit somewhere random and turn on your phone, and then just wait for a contact to say they need a ride. And if you need a ride, like let's say you had one too many beers with the friends, and you just need someone to take you home, you just open up the app, you click request a ride, and in 10 minutes, someone's going to be there to drive you home. Pretty convenient. And that's pretty much how Uber works. It's good for drivers if they want to make, a couple extra bucks on the side to supplement their income. It's good for people who need rides because there's actually a ton of situations like that where it could be convenient. Now, you guys know me. I'm not going to talk about whether or not I think it's safe. Let's get down to the numbers and let's talk about how much money you can actually make being a driver on Uber. Conveniently enough, I actually have a friend on Skype. I don't know him in real life, but I've met him through gaming. And this is where I got this topic from. He just did his first week at Uber, and actually in his first week he made $300. Even though I said it was his first week, he only drove that Saturday and Sunday, so he only drove 2 days and ended up making $300. So pretty much he downloaded the app, he started giving people rides, he spent 10 hours that weekend, and he ended up earning $300. Earning, as the app would say, $300. So you do the math, that's $30 an hour. He drove around 10 hours, he made $300. That's ridiculous. $30 an hour is that's a ton of money, and that sounds so good. Why isn't everyone using this app, Uber? But then right before Uber paid him, they took 20% commission. It kind of makes sense. Uber made the app so they can take 20% of the earnings as commission. And so now instead of making $30 an hour, he's making $24 an hour. Well, then you also have to add the $6 an hour he paid for gas. Now he's making $18 an hour. And then you also have to think about it realistically. It's wearing down his car. It's getting him closer to his next oil change. It's, time consuming. There's all these things you have to take into account. Realistically speaking, after taxes, oil change, just taking a lot of different things into account, because you do actually have to pay taxes on the earnings, and it's above 10%. It's a decent amount. He made around $13, $14 an hour. Now, that's good. That's way above, minimum wage. If you have nothing better to do, making $14, $13 an hour just driving people around, heck, that's good. I would honestly do that. But I say all this because I don't want you to let the company fool you. They're going to trick you into thinking you're going to make $30, $40 an hour. But, you got to think about the 20% they're taking, just the wear and tear on your car, the gas prices, taxes. There's all these things. Now, you still do make a profit, and it's still, it's a decent amount after taking all that into consideration, and I'm not against it. If you have nothing better to do on your weekend, go drive some people around, make $100 to $200. There's no problem with that, but I just want to make sure you guys have a realistic viewpoint on it in case you ever consider getting into it. Something else that I see a lot, like when I was looking up information before I did this commentary, apparently there's a lot of people who complain about drunk people throwing up in the back of their car. It makes sense. These people are so drunk they can't drive themselves home, so they use the app, they get a ride from you, you take them home, but apparently these guys throw up in a lot of people's cars, so I would take that into consideration too. But be aware you can decline rides, so if someone in your area requests a ride from you, you can decline it. So you can not pick up people from bars if you don't want people throwing up in the back of your car. So yeah, that's everything. I'll wrap up the video. My thoughts on it: if I need a ride, to be honest, I would probably use that app. It is probably cheaper than a taxi, and you don't have to try to wave them down, even though there are no taxis where I live. So I'd rather use the Uber app. And there have been a couple cases of people trying to do something, picking up people and trying to kidnap them, but that's only 2 or 3 cases, and there's probably been 1 million rides given out through the app. So the chances of anything bad happening, it's so low that there's probably the equal amount of chance that would happen if you got a taxi driver. You know what I'm saying? So I see no problem in the app. I think it's pretty good, and it's it's getting our current age up to date with technology, and stuff like that is actually sufficient. It's actually eco-friendly. It saves gas because people are they're driving already. They might as well just pick other people up and share the ride. I don't know. I think the app's a good idea. I don't really understand why so many people hate on it, and obviously it's not a full-time job. It's just something that you can do to make money on the side, and that's pretty much my opinions. I've never used the app, but I might in the future. To be honest, I might drive people around on my weekends because if I don't have anything to do, why not? I might just give it a try. But that's pretty much everything. Hopefully you enjoyed.
No exception to the rule, do what you do to get by, cause I keep ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my